Welcome to another episode of Spirit Walking. I'm Spirit Walker. Today we're going to be walking around my old high school haunts, the Autauga County High School. It's interesting to note that Autauga County High School, back when I went there, was located inside the Prattville city limits. Now that it's been moved outside the city limits, it's been renamed Prattville High School, and it's in the county, because that's how we roll here in Prattville.
Prattville High School today is a kindergarten. It is Prattville Kindergarten. But if you look very closely, it still has Autauga County High School plainly visible across the top. Autauga County High School back in my day was not a mega high school like you see today. That's about the end of it down there. And that's about the end of it down there. In fact, that one little building there, that little building was home economics class back when I was in school. Today, Prattville High School, as I mentioned, it's moved north of town, is much bigger. And Prattville High School's marching band has more people in it than my graduating class here at ACHS. We'll walk around from the side. I remember I remember having classes in these classrooms right here, right next to the office. The office would have been right in this door right here to the right in there. And I remember I had classes either here in one of these windows right here. It was Miss Gillespie's English class. I remember she was a very young teacher. She wasn't much older than we were when I was a senior. And we used to mess with her podium when she'd take roll. One time we hung it outside one of these windows right here, right in front of the school. We hung it outside the window and it stayed there for 2 days. She never noticed it was gone. Nobody ever noticed it from the outside. And we just finally brought it back in. None of this covering was here when we were in school. There's no way they were protecting us from the rain. There was no pickup point for parents to pick us up. They just pulled up in front of the school and we got in and out if we had to, or we parked around back. But in between these two buildings right here where this breezeway is, this was just the continuation of the hallway. Now I'm down at this end of the high school, and you can see down at this end of the high school, you can see the end of the school doesn't end with the brick. This used to be this area here that's quite colorful, got the PKS Kindness Rocks sign at the bottom there. That was the band room. It wasn't quite out this far, I don't believe. I believe it was more back where the brick is there, back even with the back. That was the brick. And the band room was there in the choral room. It was very small. I remember the band room was so bad off that when the tubas hit a really deep note or the drums hit a really loud beat, plaster would fall off the wall. It was in bad shape by the time we were done with it. And this is the automotive area right over here. This is auto shop class was at the very end down here. And all these railings and things weren't here. The gates weren't here. This overpass wasn't here. This overhang. We could come in and out of this door. I remember one time somebody let a lawnmower, a self-propelled lawnmower, off in the hallway at this end, and they went all the way down the hall. This was the auto shop. Now when you come all the way down here, you have another entrance to the school between the auto shop building there on the left and the gym on the right. The gym is where we did basketball and things like that, but it's also where we had our high school graduation in this gym. right there. We almost sweated to death, but we were in that gym right there. And this is a back hallway right here. Goes down past classroom entrances that are on the outside of the building. We'll see those in just a minute. This is looking out in the opposite direction of the school from where I just showed you near the auto shop. And this used to be the National Guard Armory, and it was right across the street from the high school. And we used to go over there. I had a big open area. Now it's the Doster Center. In fact, I just did a comedy and magic show here about 4 or 5 months ago. It's a very nice little facility, but it used to be the National Guard Armory when I was in high school. If you pan back down to the school grounds that I'm standing on, you can see the school here on your left. There's a playground. And this is Pratt Park down this way. Pratt Park was a place to go and hang out with your friends. I'll do a little thing on Pratt Park. That's the new playground that's been built. We had a playground there, but it wasn't quite as elaborate, quite as fancy. And then over here on the right side of Pratt Park, you'll see, you can barely see the swimming pool on the other side of that parking lot right there. And they have a new splash pad there now. But back in the day, that was a swimming pool, and it was fed by one of the multitude of underground springs here in Prattville, which is why Prattville is called Fountain City, because it has a lot of artesian wells that run from underground, and I'll show you one in another video, if not this one. So this is the from the playground around the back of the school. You'll see they have a new area called Prattville Farmers Market, and they have a farmers market here every month, I should say. We used to park our cars out here. We used to park our cars in these trees right here in the back of the school. There were a few more trees I remember when I was a kid, and we used to park our cars in there. It's now all chain linked off. That's where they have the farmers market and everything, but we used to park our cars in there, especially prom time. Now if you look way down the road at that white building right in the middle of the sign, right there, you see that white building right there? That is the field house at Prattville Stadium. We could walk there for football practice. So in the last period of class, the football players would all walk down to the field house and work out in the field house and then have football practice on the actual field. Now Prattville High School is so far away, they can't do that. So they have their own field at the high school that they practice on, but they still play at Lions Stadium. That's what it was when I was a kid. Now it's Stanley Jensen Stadium. And this is the back. This is the back of the gym. And this is the very doors that we would come out when we went to football practice. So we'd come out the gym doors and we'd run straight across and down the road to the field house. Now this chain link fence and the covering here, the pavilion that they have on the back and all of that, obviously, and I might add that squirrel right there. Hello, Mr. Squirrel. I followed him into this tree. But obviously, he and the other structures were not here when I was a kid. What we did have was a back way to get in our classrooms. We had to come out the door that you see. We had to come out that door that's up that little ramp right there, just behind that tree. There's a ramp that goes up to the door. We used to have to come out that door and then make a right, which would be to our left, and there were classrooms. You can see an orange door right there. You can see the orange door. You can see another door on further down. Those were classrooms. I had, in that door on the left, I had algebra 2. I think I had trigonometry there. But back here where this pavilion was, we had trailers just regular long trailers that protruded out perpendicular to the high school, and that's where I had like civics class and American history and things like that. Now this is the back of the school, and we used to park all along what used to be a drainage ditch. You can see the drainage ditch right there. It used to run this way, so the road was a little bit wider right here. We used to park, well, the road wasn't wider, but there was a berm in between the road and that drainage ditch, and we used to park all along this ditch. So there were cars all the way down. One time we took the football coach's car, which was a kind of a small compact car. The football team picked it up and straddled that ditch with it. Needless to say, we ran laps. This is the back of the school. Again, there is where we would have come out to go to our classes there on the left and down to the gym. On the right behind that big tree was the cafeteria. We all ate in the cafeteria. We're now on the other side of the cafeteria, the lunchroom as we called it back then. And I tell you, one of the most important skills I learned in high school was typing. Believe it or not, it's the only skill I learned in high school, let's say, that I use every single day. And I learned it right here beside the cafeteria in one of these classrooms. I learned typing. I took 1 year of typing and I took off with it, and now I use it every single day. I've written 5 books, countless poems. I journal every single day, and I touch type every day. And it all happened right here at Autauga County High School. And around on the other side of the home economics building and back down to the front of Autauga County High School. I decided to see if we could look down the hallway. This is looking in by the economics building, looking down the hallway to the other building where the band room would have been. Straight shot hallway. You can see a door open on the right. Just across from it would have been the auditorium, where we had our proms, everything like that. You really can't see to the left too well because of the glare on the windows. Just looking in one of the windows to the left of that door we were just looking in. This may have been my typing class. It was homeroom and typing class. It may have been, but it may have been the one behind this one. So, we have completely circled Autauga County High School. Well, I hope you enjoyed this little romp around my old high school haunts. There'll be many more videos. Hopefully I'll come back when I can get inside and shoot some video of the inside. But right now, I hope you subscribe to my channel. Make sure you subscribe. Leave a comment down below. Let me know anything else that you want to see around the Prattville area or around Alabama or even the country. I'll keep you posted where I'm going to be because I do travel around a lot doing comedy and magic. And I just hope that we can hook up. A lot of people are liking the video. Subscribe. That's the way you help me out. Other than that, hey, I will see you next time. That's it for now. I'm Spirit Walker, and I approve of this message.